My name's David Kirsten with Wide Angle Media, and I'm excited to bring you another edition of the Rainmaker 2020 podcast. I'm here with my nutritionist and nutrition expert, Agneta Sundberg. Sorry, I realize I don't pronounce your name that often. She's actually Swedish, and I'm half Swedish, and we've had a great connection and time working together with some excellent results in the field of nutrition. So I'm actually down about 15 pounds in the last month or so since COVID started. I'm down about over 30 pounds or more since I've started working with her. So I feel healthier, I feel great, and she's very easy to work with. So she's also taught me a lot about health and nutrition. And with that, I wanted to turn it over to you, to just to summarize kind of what you bring to the table with clients and how you work with folks and how you can help people like me.
Thanks, David. It's great to be here with you. Well, to start, I like to say that we can often want to jump to when we read a book to the end to kind of see what's going on. It's good to have a perspective, but I like to start at the beginning, and that would be to meet the person where they're at. When they tell me about their wellness goals, what's going on, and what health problems they wanting to solve, what habits they want to change, I find that that is a helpful starting place. It kind of paints a picture for me to give my recommendation that fits into their lifestyle, a plan to get started. And that's the exciting part, to be able to see results. And I focus typically at this time. You mentioned the virus that we're dealing with and all the stress that brings right now at this particular moment, but it's something that's going on in different ways all the time. Stress and our emotional health severely affects our immune system, and often we don't think of that aspect and how it pertains to our health. As well, what we eat, but more importantly, what we absorb, our gut health, which is another huge factor that I can't underscore enough, affecting our immune system, our overall gut health. And then hydration. It's not enough, as you and I have talked about, to drink water. We got to get the water into our cells, and that is just another one that is big as it pertains to our immune system. And I would say last but not least, reducing our toxic load to the degree we can. Life is about being exposed by what we can do in our home and into our body. That is a good way to work together and to create an action plan where again we can see some results. And you mentioned that really well. You want to kind of get there quickly to notice that, hey, what I'm doing here, I have some accountability partner that is on the game with me, but there's something measurable here. We live in that kind of society. We want to be able to see results, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I did your piece about the water, something that I struggled with initially, but once I started getting that system down with your help, I feel like that's made a big difference in helping me, lose the weight, but also flush out some of those toxins out of my system. So, you really kind of, there's some key pieces that need to come together that not a lot of people are aware of, but you really have a kind of a plan for how to get to those over time. For example, the first month, you can't get to everything, but I found as we've worked together, we've kind of evolved and, come up with a system that worked for me. So, um, I did want to ask you about, we hear a lot about the need for a strong, healthy immune system these days, with that's something on everyone's mind, as you mentioned. What are some powerful ways to boost our immune system during these times?
Well, as I mentioned, our how we relate to stress and something that is a beginning point that anyone can do. It's easier said than done sometimes, but I do have some tips that often we go through at the very beginning. Our breath. Our breath can calm down our nervous system. Even at this moment, when I slow down the speed that I'm talking deliberately so that I can take a few deeper breaths and even pause to breathe into the belly and to really take a moment to feel the breath and to ideally breathe in and out through the nose is a good way to help slow down, to feel the breath. And again, that can be hard to do at times of stress, but to just do that, be still and take 3 to 5, not exaggerate in any way, but just smoother, longer from the beginning of an inhalation to the exhalation, and notice the effect. So that would be something that anyone can do at any time throughout the day, and especially when there's something that really hits us, thoughts that are entering the mind and tend to get our energy dispersed, because that's pretty much what happens. And what the breath does by default is bring us back to ourselves, where it's the only place where we can attend to whatever it is that's going on. Even if it is a virus, how we can do the best to keep ourselves safe and healthy and our loved ones.
Great. Is there anything else physically that we can be doing? I do know that kind of a benefit of our work is I just have more energy, so I physically feel better. But would you have any? I know we have it's mental and physical. So, to any other advice on how to help people get through this time?
What we eat, as I mentioned, is huge for the immune system. So another thing that we can do now, and most of us have more time on our hand, is to implement a habit of slowing down even eating, chewing our food, and exaggerate that, if you will, so that it can more easily be absorbed. It calms us down as well. And the end result is that it increases the value that we extract from the food. And of course, moving. Depending on where we are in the country, there might be a challenge to where we can, how much time we can spend outside, and to the degree we're allowed to, so to speak, at this moment. But for those of us that can even go just outside and ideally be in nature, that is calming. It supports our immune system. And as you mentioned, David, drinking water and putting a tiny little bit of half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and a tiny little bit of a really good quality, like the salt, Himalayan rock salt, the pink salt, a tiny little bit. And I have some other more direct ideas of implementing hydration and how to absorb the water better. But those are a couple of things. And we're using essential oils in your water. That's kind of what I use for myself and my family. Makes the water taste better and can enter the cells. And reducing the toxic load we are doing when we're breathing more effectively, when we're getting more nutrients into our body. So those will probably be some of the kind of more accessible things to do without tailoring it to a specific person. Like when you and I met for the first time, the most important thing for me was to really hear you tell me about where you wanted to go. How did you see yourself? And you were really clear on that. And that makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, it can become a little bit of back and forth, but it is communication. And for me, the most important part is listening and obviously making notes. And then we create an action plan together.
Yeah, yeah, I felt that was a great thing, and it hasn't always been easy. It's easy to get frustrated at times, and you have helped me through those times too. So, what is the best way for folks to get in touch with you to see if it's a good fit, to um, hear how you might be able to help them, and to possibly look at start working together.
That is to reach out to me either via email, which is actually the easiest, Agneta, in spite of the fact that my first name is a little tricky to pronounce. It's easier when you see it spelled. It's Agneta, Agneta. So my first name at lifeandwellness.co. So Agneta at lifeandwellness.co. And when
Great.
you reach out there, it's my email address. I offer a 30-minute consultation at no cost where we can either meet in person. Obviously, nowadays, Zoom is perfect, or even phone. But I like to have a visual contact, if not person to person. There I get to ask a few questions and pretty much do what I laid out here. And then, like you said, David, it becomes obvious if it's a fit, and then we go from there. I find that is a really great way to create a connection and for me to listen. And I'm a wellness consultant, so I want to just underscore that, yeah, nutrition is one part of it, but movement, hydration, all these other aspects fall into my wellness practice. I'm looking at all the different factors that kind of make us feel our best.
Great. Well, uh, thanks for joining me and getting your story out there, Agneta. And I really look forward to continuing to work with you and develop further, accomplish my health and fitness goals. So, with that, I'm happy to bring your story to my listeners and encourage them to reach out to you. And have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, David. And I compliment you on your good work. You're great to work with. And I look forward to take good care of anyone you send my way. Thanks, David.
Okay, thank you. Good. Yeah, well, I think that was good. I might shorten, like, deal with that stress one a little bit differently. I might edit part of that out, but I think overall we got some good stuff there. So
I think that I look forward to hearing how you edit. And I like, obviously, the approach of having a little bit more to draw from and see what resonates with you.
good. Yeah, I like your picture there too. I'm thinking, I don't know if you have a preferred background that you might want to send me, because when I do the podcast, I have like your picture, but then there's like a background. Like I'll kind of want like a health background, maybe like a beach or a sunset. Or if you have a image you might want me to use, feel free to share that. Or maybe it could be your like something off your website or a logo or something.
Okay, that's a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah,
That's great. I'll look at that today and send it your way.
yeah. I'm hopefully going to produce this fairly soon, so I'll let you know once I get the draft done. I'll send it over for you to listen to, make sure there's no issues with it as far as like misspelling or something. It's always good to have more than one person go over it. So
Totally. No, I can see that. I'm such a kind of person that like to be with someone else. So I'm still, what would I say, struggling with, as many of us do, listening to your own, having a little bit of an accent. And I felt like when you talk to someone in real time, it's different. So I work on that, not being overly critical. So that's always a good practice.
okay, yeah, good. But yeah, I think it'll be good. So and I'll put like the when I release it, I'll also put a little written thing on like what we talk about too. So just to further encourage people to um, view it, So
Yeah, that's great. And if you refer to me as a life and wellness coach,
okay,
that would be great, because nutrition is just one single part. So that can be a little, not necessarily misleading, but yeah,
yeah,
life and wellness coach. And since life and wellness is the name of my business as well,
yeah,
or
yeah, and I
wellness
actually,
coach, whichever you prefer. But life and wellness coach is what I typically use.
yeah, that's a good point. And I do actually know how to pronounce your name better just from, but I hadn't pronounced it in a while. So
Ah,
uh,
yeah,
my
with your
mom
half
scolded
Swedish
me for that because
background.
she hardly ever talks Swedish, but when you hear people that it's kind of a commonly sounding Swedish name.
Totally. Your mom would. Does she speak Swedish?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I'm so sorry that we didn't get to do your obviously your event the 25th, and I know it will be happening as soon as whatever time allows. I look forward to meeting her.
yeah, yeah. I'll send her. She'll see this, so I'll tell her about this, and she'll listen to this. So yeah, yeah. At some point, you guys will meet. So
Oh yeah, I'm sure that we will. This will be passed. But I do feel that you're picked an opportune time, because people are really looking to especially attend to their emotional health, stress, and obviously support their immune system.
yeah, yeah. I think that's something differently that I haven't really had people provide in the past as part of like you're more comprehensive in terms of your support too that you give than like a personal trainer or just like a nutritionist, as I said. So I'll make sure to make that point too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I can't get enough of feeling the wind from the palm trees. I really wanted to run into the ocean there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully soon. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, I'll let you go. Thanks for your email there. Oh yeah, actually.